Okay, we're going to give you a little video of the underneath of the truck. Like I said, this is a very straight, rust-free truck. No rot on it at all. There's a little bit of surface corrosion, like you would expect, but nothing major, no cancer. Wheel cylinders are dry, differential's dry. Cut around here. Wheel arches are good. The bed is solid. It's actually a very straight bed. Doesn't look like this truck was ever worked very hard, which is really nice. Again, some scaling on the frame and some other components. You can see the cab supports and the cab mounts are all solid. Underneath the bed, do the best I can here, guys. It's tough to show everything on a video. Again, the truck has dual exhaust, does not have mufflers, it's straight pipes with factory manifolds, and it actually sounds really good. It breathes really well. Those are not welded on, they're bolted on, so if you wanted to put in a standard like turbo style muffler, you could totally do that, no problem. You can see the cab corners are nice and solid all the way around, no rot on them. The seams are real good. Just have the very back of the seam here where it had cracked, but it is, I mean, it's hard, so it's just a swell there, a little split. The other side's similar, but again, everything is really dry. And yeah, no patches. You know, central Idaho truck, so very dry over there. There's the front. Let's pop around here again. Just a really straight, really clean truck. Still has the sway bars, which is nice. And you know, it's got a little bit of seeping on the motor here and there, but it's generally pretty clean. Those are the drips you'll usually see in a couple of days worth of time, so nothing major there. Again, very straight. Truck drives down the road real nice. It's one of the nicer driving trucks. And I did notice this when I started my video. The left radius arm bushing is starting to split, so I would replace those at one point. Not critically necessary, doesn't really affect the driving that much yet, but it will degrade over time. It's a pretty easy job. They make polyurethane bushings for those. Not something I'm going to tear into right now as I'm getting ready to put this up for sale. Again, just real solid, real straight, rust-free, solid truck. And once more, the other lower seam behind the cab corner itself, real solid. The seam looks real good. It isn't split. Just a little bit of swelling there from the moisture that collects down there. But again, it's, I mean, that is nothing. That's about as good as you can ask for, to be honest. I would say the condition this truck is in, you would want to do one of two things with it. Either do a little cleanup on the interior and kind of fix that up a bit. Show you guys a little bit of the outside of the truck too. It's not perfectly straight. It's got some dings and dents, and as you can see, there's plenty of little chips and scratches and things like that. It's not a show truck. It's a very nice daily driver. This is one I would not feel bad at all about driving to work on Friday, taking it out on the weekends. heck, I wouldn't feel bad about driving this to work regularly. It's just a nice truck. But yeah, this would be a great candidate for doing a body swap onto a 4x4 Super Cab with a rusted out cab. This is the only other major damage. Pretty small down ding they all get from, yeah, it's real hard to show these things, guys. Pretty small down ding they all get from the mirror here. I mean, that's about 3 inches around. A more skilled body guy than I could pop that out. I didn't want to make it worse, so I'm just going to leave it be. But I do know some paintless dent removal guys that can pop those things out. Real straight hood, really nice straight hood. Again, it's got plenty of little rock chips and all that in it. It is a respray. Judging from the way it looks, I would say this was probably resprayed in the 80s, maybe the 90s. And it's the original paint color on the truck. Matches the door tag, matches the interior and the dash, all that. They actually did I could see the seam. They sprayed the outside, they didn't spray the jambs, so everything inside is the original paint still. It's just the outside they did. The only other damage, you have your standard blowout ding in there. Yeah, just a real solid, real straight truck. And again, you can run her as is, and she'll do you real good. If you wanted to really get a little more out of the truck as far as driving pleasure, the things I would do would be to put a new dash pad on it. This one's pretty banged up. You can get those from LMC Truck. That's actually a pretty easy install, nice little weekend project. The bench seat could stand to be recovered if it doesn't bother you that much. You know, leave it how it is. Like you can see in the photos, the bottom material is pretty much gone, which is a shame because the rest of it is in pretty solid shape with the exception of some splits here. The backs are nice. The back seat is perfect. What else we got? Oh, you know, you got some cracks in the factory headliner. There's some little things that don't work. The oil temp gauge doesn't work, so it's got an aftermarket coolant, voltage, and oil pressure gauge. Excuse me, oil pressure, not oil temp. The fuel gauge does work. The sending unit, and the temperature gauge works up here as well. So there's the speedo and the odometer, illumination on the dash, your HVAC controls, all that works. And again, this was an AC truck, factory air truck, but it needs a condenser and a compressor. Radio delete, block off plate, you can leave that as is or put a vintage radio in, that's your choice. But yeah, the fuel gauge does work. It just needs a new sending unit. It's stuck at full. So again, if you know anything about these trucks, those aren't very difficult things to do. The other thing I would do is to kind of clean her up a little bit would be put carpet in it. Put a new carpet kit. This one might clean up if you shampoo it up. Again, I just didn't want to do it before I sold this truck. Again, real nice, clean, straight. She runs like a top. The doors open and close real nice. Window regulators are really smooth. So there's little things here and there. Oh yes, it does need a windshield. There's a crack in the windshield. Little things here and there. It's got a little bit damage here. I think somebody rolled her into a post or something at one point. I had never straightened that out. Again, you could run her as is. You could put a new bumper on it if it really bugged you. I'll say once more, it's not a show truck. You're not going to win any concourse with it, but it's a nice, solid, just good running daily driver. One of my favorite things about this truck is it has the tow mirrors on it. So you spin those guys around. So I can do this one-handed. And now you got your nice wide tow mirror. Pretty cool, old school deal. But I went through those and cleaned them up and got them working. That's a little better way to see that dent there. So. Pretty easy to do. Thought that was sweet. Hold on a sec, I'll show you under the hood. Alright, under the hood, we got your 400M factory 2-barrel. Again, factory manifolds with dual exhaust going all the way back. It has, all this is in the ad of course, but got a new aluminum radiator in it with an external oil cooler. You can see down here, so it is not tied into the radiator, so you don't got to worry about that leaking. Put an overflow catch, custom overflow catch can on there. New belts, plugs, wires. Just rebuilt the carburetor, got everything tuned, dialed in. New air cleaner, newer battery, cables, starter, relay. It is a remand alternator, so that was redone at one point. Again, factory AC truck. It's got the evap core and blower box and the lines still there up to the orifice tube. So again, you could do a vintage air modern Sandin style compressor and condenser on here, and you'd have yourself, AC for the summer months if that's something that you'd be inclined to do. It does need a power brake booster as well. Right now the brake pedal is very hard. You're not getting much power assist out of that. So tires are in solid shape. Not really any checking or cracking on them. I wouldn't drive this rear-wheel drive truck in the winter with these street radials, but if you wanted to, you could. Depends on how skilled of a driver you are. Not really what it's meant for. Again, nice straight bumper. Tailgate. All the lights work. All the lights work, brights and your regular low beams and turn signals and all that stuff. So, all the running lights too. So pretty much everything you'd expect. Like I said, I drive her all the time, but it's time for her to go to a new home. I got plenty of projects in here. Well, the paint looks real nice. I mean, it looks how it shows in the photos. She shines up pretty good, but it's not perfect. It's just one of those really nice looking, pretty clean daily drivers that you can take out on a cruise night or take to work, and don't feel bad about getting scratches on it or a rot chip here or there or anything like that. Again, I mean, just nice straight door jambs, no rot on them, no rot on the rockers. Bottoms of the doors, they're perfect. So again, you can see you got the factory. Get this to focus. Got your factory tag still over the blue paint, so you can see where they shot the outside. That's my indicator that it was sprayed. There's a little bit of overspray right in the jam here, so that's telling me that they sprayed the outside of the truck. So about best you could ask for. They sprayed it their original color, and they didn't shoot the interior, so the interior's got the original paint on it. I'll show you these jams too. Again, this would be an excellent candidate if you had a 4x4 you wanted to do a body swap on, and you needed to get a straight rust-free body, or if you just wanted to, one weekend at a time, put a little bit of work into the interior and clean her up a little bit. That's really the only thing left to do on this thing, and it's almost fully restored truck at that point. So, oh yeah, it's got the LED lights on it too. Those things are great. I'll pop those on real quick. Takes a lot of load off the alternator. Yeah, they're super bright, which is really nice when you're driving at night. And high-low beam works. The switch on the floor, kind of see that running light lit up. It's real hard to see these things in the day, yeah. There you go, guys. Again, got any questions? You want any more info? You want some more pictures? You want some more HD video? Shoot me a message. Be more than happy to shoot some more for you. Got no problem doing that. And yeah, like I said, got any questions, just give me a holler, let me know. Again, there's just no rot along the front where these are usually rotted out. I mean, even the wheel wells are straight. I think this truck was just driven it was just used as a driver for most of its life. But yeah, there you go, guys. Thanks for looking, and yeah. Okay, we'll do a little startup video. When she's really cold, first start in the morning, I'll give her one pump. She fires right up. Not real cold-blooded. You don't have to pump her after she's warm, or all you do is just fire right up. Got coolant temp, voltage, oil pressure. Yeah, it's fantastic oil pressure. Like I said, it needs a sending unit. The float is stuck in the full position. Says it's got 120,000 on it. I believe that to be true. This temp gauge works as well. She's just still kind of cold. I just fired up a little bit ago. Judging by the pedals, I'm gonna say that 120K sounds about right. It's got a real nice note to it. It's loud, but it's not annoyingly loud. And the motor's real quiet. Lifters are nice and quiet. Get a little bit of noise out of the power steering pump like you do with pretty much all these old Fords, but it feels good. Doesn't have any flat spots or hard spots, so I don't have any worries about it. Real nice, quiet, good runner motor. I love these 400Ms. Real nice smooth hood. Well, let's get her on the road, huh? Alright, been driving around a little bit. Got her warmed up. I figured we'd take her for a cruise. For a second. It's not terrible. Like I said, the exhaust isn't too loud at all. You can barely hear it in the cab unless you're really on it, which is what you want. And yeah, she just drives down the road real nice and straight. It's a real smooth driving truck. Kick down setup for passing. Drop down, no problem. Really, really nice. Like I said, the power brakes, The power brake booster does need to be replaced, so the brakes are a little firm, but other than that, she drives beautifully. That's reverse, neutral, drive. While we're here, there's park. Reverse, drive. I'll give you guys a full throttle, let you see how she goes. About 15. That's 70. So it's got those modern Michelin street radials on it, so it drives real nice. And these two-wheel drive, you know, Ford pickups always drove really good with that independent front suspension. So yeah, I mean, I really like this truck. It's a really good driving truck. But again, like I said, it's a real nice daily driver, fun truck. You can use it as a truck. Go out on cruise night with it. You don't feel bad about it getting used and worn. And so there you go.